So another Bermuda grass soccer field I'm on out here, and this one, you saw the first video, and whew, it's rough. I can't remember what I said, but I think it's 70% Bermuda or so, 60%. It's just a really bad spot right here in the middle on this end, and it's a little bit thin here and there. But as you get down there, it's quite a bit of Bermuda. It's just on this end down here. The weed control application did its thing. It smoked 95% of what was out here. The crabgrass, the lespedeza, clover, is all kind of things out here. A little bit of lespedeza hanging around. At this point, I'm really not worried about that because, like I said, I've gotten rid of about 95%. So now I'm pushing the Bermuda. I've got about 6 more weeks of growing during the summer. And as you can tell, I've sand leveled it. You've kind of seen me do that 100 million times already, so I didn't film any of that. But you've seen me put the sand out and drag it and smooth it down and all that. Now, these strips right here I didn't do. These are where the zones of irrigation are. And the guy told me they're not real deep. The aggravator is real deep. It's got 8-inch, I think they're 8-inch tines. Man, maybe 6-inch. I think they're 6 or 8-inch tines right there. They're solid shaft, and as they roll, they vibrate and jiggle. And that's kind of what breaks the ground up. And I just didn't want to take any risk whatsoever in hitting the irrigation lines. So this field is irrigated. They have yet to run the water on it since day one. Now that I'm taking over, they give me control of the irrigation, so things ought to change. One thing I found with this field in particularly, it is absolutely rock hard. Now you can see I'm busting that up pretty good because I've already ran over it with the aggravator, but it was just crazy rock hard. Look at how loose that ground is now. The ground was, I call it hydrophobic. I'd run the irrigation, sit here and watch it for a while, and you can see where this red clay's at. The water would just sit on top of the ground. It would not penetrate for nothing. It almost evaporated faster than it soaked in the ground. So time to do a wetting agent, right? And get that water to penetrate. Well, the best wetting agent I know of is my aggravator. You can have all the wetting agents you want, all the liquid aerifying stuff you want. In my opinion, doing this 20 years, there's nothing that will replace mechanically breaking the ground so that water can penetrate. And I'm convinced of that. I could be wrong, I might be right, I don't know, but I'm convinced that I don't care how many wetting agents you put out here, they're not going to do what my aggravator just did to the ground. They're not going to break it up 6 inches deep and make it to where you can almost take your hand and scoop out 6 inches of soil, dirt from here. I know wetting agents are good, but I just don't think they're that good. I'm gonna bring my ABI force out here with my broom. Typically I would leave this just as is. If this were like a deep tine aerator, solid tine, I would leave this and wouldn't hesitate. I'd go on about my business. But it won't be too long. Little girls and little boys are gonna be playing soccer out here. And see these holes? The aggravator is super aggressive. Look at my fist. It's like they're big holes. So I'm going to take the broom, which the ABI itself is considerably lighter than my tractor, and the broom, and that way I can just make one pass, and basically I'm going to pass over and try to slick this down one more time. Look at that right there. And then put the sand down in the holes. And of course, that'll probably help out with some drainage and stuff over time. And it'll actually thin out the sand on the top, just the pinch. You can see that little bit of working it back and forth. See, I can see the Bermuda poking up now. But that's really all I want to do. It's strictly for a safety thing. I mean, it would break my heart. I wouldn't be asleep at night if I found out a little girl come out of here and twisted her ankle because of the big holes in the soccer field. I'd be beside myself. Once I do that, once I kind of go back over with that broom and slick it down and get the sand kind of pulled into the holes a little bit, we'll continue the FERT program on this. We got it on 5 applications in 5 weeks, going down at £1 an end per 1,000. And we've already made 2 of them, so we got 3 more to go. So we're just pushing it as hard as we can push it with nitrogen. I've done everything I can do. Got some sand on it. That's going to hopefully create a little extra heat at surface level to help the Bermuda go a little bit. I've loosened the ground so that roots can dig, rhizome stolon can take off in this loose dirt. And then, we got the water and we got the nitrogen. I don't think this section right here is going to fill in for this year, and I've actually told that to the AD or principal, the gentleman I'm dealing with out here. I told him, I said, this is just such a big area out here. I think it's going to be a 2-year deal. So, I'm just going to keep on doing my thing out here, keep treating it. Next year will be the show-off year out here. And I think this field is going to look dramatically different next year as opposed to how it looks right now. Commercial guys, lawn care guys, you can't beat an aerator. Now this is an aggravator. Okay, I want to make sure you know a difference. Aggravator. Where's the name of it? Because I know I got a little bit of red in me, and sometimes it's hard for people to understand what I'm saying. Where is that? Well, daggone it, it ain't got a name. I think I done covered the name up with that plate right there. Aggravator. Like I'm gonna aggravate somebody. Hey, here's a good one. I aggravate my wife sometimes. Matter of fact, I probably aggravate her a whole lot. So, aggravator. It is kind of like the big brother to the aerator. I've showed you aerator for a long time. I got one on the Ventrac, got one on grasshoppers. I got the big one for the seed box for First Products that goes behind the tractor. And I could have aerated this very easily and it would have probably done a fantastic job, but this field was just abnormally hard. I mean, pure, straight up North Carolina red clay, and it is just crazy how hard it is. And of course, we ain't had no rain in forever, so that's not helping us one bit out here. So I wanted to go deep and hard, and that's what I did out here. I busted. I went real slow, around 1.3 mile an hour to 1.5 mile an hour, maximum depth on this thing. So you can just imagine 6 inches below the ground surface. It's just been busted all to pieces. Matter of fact, when you walk on it out here, it is just night and day difference. Unless you have experienced an aggravator and somebody that knows what they're doing on it and really works the machine and works the ground like it ought to be, it's hard to put it into words. I mean look, you can even see, well, I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but my boot, look at the ground. Look at how soft that is right there. And the whole entire field's that way. So it'll accept water now, doggone it. It wouldn't a couple of hours ago, but it'll accept water now, I'll tell you that. So I got my Ventrac up there with the big blower. How many tons was this? I think this was 140 tons of sand, 160 tons. But I always leave my job site better than I left it. It's just a way I do things, and I can't stand to leave a mess where I work. So the sand was up there dumped in the parking lot, which was a good thing. Had hard surface to dump it on, so it was zero waste. But I'll take my big blower and go up and blow all that clean, and then I'm gonna head to the house and call it a day. But we'll come back before the frost hits. Okay, we'll come back before the frost. Hopefully we'll have had some rain. We'll have had 3 more fertilizer applications, plus one, my regular one on my round applications. And we'll just kind of get a good look at it and see. By then, all the Bermuda that's going to poke up through the sand will have poked up through the sand by then. So we'll come back and check it out then. Check you later.